Oh, just wait, Charles. It gets real good.
But we clip them wings, we got the dub and Lambo, that's how the story go. Cheese heads in the stands, we rollin' real deep. Defense putting work, Murray can't sleep. Running for his life, trying to find some space. But the D-line's hungry, got him out of place. Yeah, with the lock, ain't no pass going wise. Every year in the zone, taking picks and stride. Sort of love slinging dimes like Rodgers in his prime. Jacobs in motion, hit the edge every time. We stay ice cold, but the heat in the air. Murray looking lost, trying to breathe that Lambo flare. Sack time in the O-line, protecting real clean. We stacking W's, keep the green and gold mean. Lambo lights bright, the tundra on fire. Queen with the hit stick is taking them higher. Collar in the pocket, but that pressure too strong. Ball fumble, Packers scoop running it long. Watson on the street, cornerbacks getting lost. Touchdown celebration, Green Bay never soft. Now LaFleur calling plays like a game of chess. Every move we make, we the best. Cardinals thought they swooped, but they got shut down. Murray looking small, couldn't wear the crown. We hold the line steady, eyes set on the prize. Another win for the Pack, watch us rise.
Welcome back, Charles. Welcome back. Another week in the books. Another W.
Another Packer Monday, bro.
Another Monday.
Packer Mondays feel so good.
They do with the W
win.
every time.
And I believe we won this one 34-13. I don't think that was far off of what we were guessing either. I think Green Bay comfortably, when that offense runs how it's supposed to, I think we're going to be 30 to 35 points every week. I think that's where we are to believe.
Couple mistakes there in the first half, late in the first half, that led to a score that probably shouldn't have happened. But other than that, I thought they played fantastic.
The slippage that caused the interception, very upsetting because
he was on pace for a fantastic game for sure.
Besides that,
but you're not
the analytics in me
throwing the ball. Like you're not gonna tell him don't throw that pass. Right. You're just like,
well, the analytics in me is you can't just randomly take numbers out because it makes you feel better. But listen, this play right here, it sucks. It sucks.
How many other quarterbacks are going to walk back and run the line, run to your right, and then throw that ball to Dobbs? Like that looked like a ball that was being thrown away, did it not? And then Dobbs is just magically there.
Oh no! From the one of the Dobbs' second touchdown.
Yeah.
Glorious. You had one-on-one with a wide receiver. The play had broken down.
Yeah, I trust you to go up and get it. That's basically what it came down to.
You're either going to catch this or knock it down. That's what Dobbs does. He catches it or knocks it down. As long as you've given him a chance. Don't make him be a cornerback.
No.
He's a wide receiver, but as long as you let him play wide receiver, I love that about him. It's one of my absolute favorite things. I love that we're starting the show talking about Romeo. 2 touchdowns. I believe it was 49 yards, but the big thing was the 2 touchdowns.
I loved what the teammates did after the first touchdown. They all came in and they hugged him. Yeah. And they let him know that, you know what, we don't care about. We knew you had shit going on off the field, and we're fine. We're brothers. We're here for you. We're a team. So
locker room really stuck together. That was fantastic to see. They were talking about it. They were acting no different when they knew nothing, or we think they knew nothing.
He came out and addressed it anyway. He pretty much put it out in the open and said I just handled it wrong. It wasn't anything to do with the team. He goes, it was a personal thing, is basically what he said.
Media speculation led to
a handful of things. Yeah. We catch ourselves in that every now and then, but usually not with the Packers, usually with fantasy sports or other things. But yeah, we let the fan in us get the worst of us sometimes. We're good. I 100% agree. I think that the Packers were in a very good place the entire game. I don't think there was ever one point in the game that I felt that I was like, man, they don't have this game under control. Right off the bat, the defense was fantastic. Murray had nowhere to go with the football the entire game. The only reason he did is because the backups really were in there towards the end. But
something you had mentioned on a previous show, and it's as a competitive athlete or just a competitive person in general, it's really hard for me to accept or without seeing somebody just not throwing to a portion of the field. And you had mentioned that on the previous show. After McKinney hit 5 for 5, you were like, bro, teams are just going to stop throwing to him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's not going to go much further than this because teams are going to stop throwing to him. I said, fuck that, dude. I'd still throw to him. And maybe that's why because I'm not throwing to Xavier. I need to make a better throw. Like, why am I going to take 1/3 of the field away from myself and only play with 2/3? Arizona pretty much showed you why you shouldn't do that. But then again, the other 5 weeks leading up to this showed you why you should do that. And we did. We saw it with Arizona, and it became very tough for them. They had 2/3 of the field, but it also opened up Green Bay's defense. There's a couple of things specifically that I was looking for this game that I was very interested in. The first one didn't really come about until we went up 2 scores.
Yeah.
So Green Bay goes up 2 scores often. This isn't something new to Green Bay Packers, unless you're just now acknowledging that you're a Packer fan and you have very little memory retention, which that's okay. That's why we're here.
It's a top 4 offense right now in the NFL. If you don't think they're going to score points,
Now, something, though, historically that happens is Green Bay ends up in this bend, don't break mindset. And after we go up 14, we give up a field goal or a touchdown. And then the offense comes out and sputters a little bit. And then whatever we didn't give up on the first drive, we give up on the second drive, right? So if it's a touchdown on the first drive, it'll usually be a field goal for them on that second drive. And it was like 14-0, and now it's 17-10 going into half, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? This just doesn't feel right. Well, so that moment came about after our second scoring drive. And I went, okay, defense, it's time. I don't need to see a 3-and-out, but no score here.
Tighten
right?
up.
Like,
Yeah,
this isn't a
tighten up.
20s to 20. Let's see if you can be that defense. And I believe we got to take away that drive or like the very next drive, but there was no score, leading to now I believe we have a plus-minus of 9 in the takeover department. We're leading the NFL in that. Last time we did that, or last time we were at this point,
96, 97.
96, 97, yeah, and it ended up with a Super Bowl. I still remember Reggie White running around Lambeau Field with
the flag,
American flag. Yeah, I still remember that. I can close my eyes and watch it over and over and over and over again. I'm super lucky. But so our defense is coming in. We had 3 more takeaways this game. James Conner fumbled it. We'll talk about fantasy, I guess, tomorrow. Fucking James Conner.
The only negative, I guess, I'll take away from the game is you brought it up a couple weeks ago about Quay Walker and his tackles and that. I watched him not wrap up 2 or 3 times. It kind of irritated me, but then he made a play at the end of the game that kind of he reclaimed whatever you want to call it.
Eric Wilson had huge plays. This is one of our rookies.
You want to bring it up again, Charles? Bring it up again, because I 100% agree with you after watching this. I watched for it, the trap play, the 21 trap, whatever you want to call it. Charles, bring it up again with Jacobs.
Did we see that? Another run in the formation you had just mentioned. Magically, Jacob breaks away, and Jenkins comes in with another penalty, bro. It's just looking too suspect at this point. And it's becoming... It almost feels like a motivational killer for Jacobs. The dude's always got a smile on his face. I'm loving, honestly, I was just talking about him pre-show. He's got 22 first downs rushed for. He's got 464 yards on 108 carries.
I feel bad.
We obviously have a 1-2.
We need to get this boy in the end zone some more.
One touchdown,
man,
bro.
that's the part that's killer. What is he? He's got to be 2nd or 3rd in the NFC in rushing yards.
Top 5. We'll say top 5 because I know he was top. I know he was.
I know
close.
he's not. I know he's not leading the NFL by any means, but
No.
He probably has the most amount of yards and the least amount of touchdowns.
Honestly, if we're being real, he's probably had 190 yards taken away in penalty flags.
If not more, because there was a couple 20 yard
20 plus
runs
yarders. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So and a touchdown. So
well, let's leave this up there for the fans. This is something that you guys should probably be paying attention to, because Charles has brought this up to me at least 4 or 5 times in 6 games. So if you think that the Jacobs is something with Jacobs triggering Jenkins to hold, or a couple of them are holding, a couple of them are hands to the face, it just doesn't make any sense. That it's the way that he pulls. I was an offensive lineman in high school. I was a center, and I also played guard too. I don't ever remember the coach calling a play and me being called for a penalty that consistently because I was out of position. And even against the same team, it doesn't even make sense. If you can't beat that guy in front of you or he's beating you, you shouldn't even be out there starting. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we've had 50 penalties. What was that? 40 accepted. and that's tied for fourth most in the NFL
And
right
that's
now.
usually that's not something the Packers usually are
No, and
in the
Matt
league
LaFleur
in.
said something that's got me really upset about it too. Is Matt LaFleur said in one of his pressers recently, really recently, like last couple of weeks recently,
Yeah.
that he doesn't have an answer for it. That
Oh,
he's
that
tried everything that he's thought about, and to start the game off with a penalty, literally started the game
yeah.
off with a penalty. All of Lambeau Field went boo. I mean, to start the game off with a penalty. That's what's blowing my mind. But lots of positives. Lots of positives to take
Yeah,
away.
lots of positives for sure.
We scripted that game beautifully. You heard Aikman talk about it a little bit if you were watching one of those games. But the first 15 is generally scripted. Apparently,
Yeah,
the Bears just
typically,
figured
yeah.
this
I
out.
think that's an NFL thing for a head coach.
Yeah, you'd think, but the Bears just figured this out. So
We
the
talk about all right. We can talk about the Bears for a second. Good for them. The Bears are also 4-2. Everybody, if you haven't looked
yeah.
into it, but the Bears' schedule coming up is brutal, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow. If you guys make sure you check out the show tomorrow, it's usually
They're only favored in
fantastic.
one of their last 8 games. So.
It's I think they're not. I don't think they're going to play a team with a losing record for
The one
a
game they're
while.
favored in, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot could change. Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow for sure. It's just
Who do we got next week? I never even looked into this.
Houston.
It's Houston.
Houston.
All right. There's an actual offensive challenge. The defense is going to be very tested in this game for sure.
Yeah, and I
TJ's
think
going to wing it.
yeah. So the other thing that I was watching for in the game that tested our defense was our plus minus coming out of the second half. Right now we have a fantastic plus minus in that third quarter. I don't remember the exact numbers. I'll get them to you next week.
That's make or break. Usually the tone for the
And
second
that was
half,
it
100%.
was last year too. It's something Matt LaFleur is fantastic about. I believe he just got his 60th win. I think he's the second fastest in Packer history to do that, just behind Matt Lombardi. Vince Lombardi.
Matt Lombardi, everybody. yeah.
I got all the faith in the world in Matt. I wasn't excited about the hire to begin with, mostly because I didn't know the name, but that I don't even know why I'm telling you this, because that was like 6 hours after about 6 hours of finding out who Matt was. It's fantastic. And I am a firm believer that Matt made Aaron better at the end of his career than he was going to be at the end of his career. And we are now seeing that via the Jets here. Fantastic.
Oh, he probably lengthened his career. He added to it for sure.
Yeah, he got him that Jets contract for shizzle. I believe it's, 28 straight games without a 300-yard passing or something for old AA Rod.
Yeah, unfortunately. Maybe tonight he'll get it. I don't know. Probably not against Buffalo, but you never know.
Yeah, who knows? But they're the only thing, and I hate to harp on the negatives, but the only real thing I'm not enjoying yet, and I'm not sure if this has to do with not wanting to overuse him too much in the beginning, but I still don't think we're utilizing Josh Jacobs enough. I think we need
probably not. That's
mostly
pretty...
in the pass game. I think we need to get the ball into his hands a little bit more. Him and Jaden Reed.
Oh, no, I agree.
Are absolute playmakers.
That's my only knock on Jordan Love, is that he does tend to fall into that Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers. He gets love drunk with a wide receiver. And sometimes it was Dobbs, sometimes it was Wicks, sometimes it was Jaden Reed. You can't just look for him all the time when you need a big play. You've got 2 really good tight ends out there. You've got players, you got ballers out there all over the field.
On the same front too, I think he did miss Watson on a big play touchdown.
He did miss Watson, yeah.
When he checked it down on the original.
Wicks did drop a ball too.
And
that
Wicks
was in his
dropped
midst too.
Yeah. Wicks' injury though is apparently week to week. That should be just fine.
Shoulder.
Talked in Matt LaFleur's press conference today, be it.
So he came out pretty healthy, or
they're keeping an eye on him. It's day to day. Matt's answer was more or less, when you don't go back into the game, it tends to be a little bit more serious than the rest. But it seems to be going well, and it wasn't a day by day thing for him. It's a week by week thing.
It was nice to see Watson out there and Watson catch that long touchdown pass, burn Buda Baker. That was very nice to see. That brought a smile to my face, thinking, all right, dude. All right.
Yeah.
You're back.
I enjoy how our offense operates because it's not built to overutilize one utensil.
No.
Our tight ends are doing wonderful. I'm really enjoying
The change of pace thing with the running backs is
Kraft.
fantastic. You can bring in the bruiser, Jacobs just pounding away. Dudes are having a hell of a time trying to tackle him. And then all of a sudden you bring in Wilson, the speedster. And then you say, hey, Wilson, guess what? Go around the edge. And then you can bring in Jaden Reed on a freaking end around. And it's just
I
crazy.
mean, our rushing game right now is elite, and it hasn't been right. Like
No,
we've
not
had
for
a really good rushing attack, but it's elite right now. And unfortunately, too, and I know it's in lieu of an injury, but I don't see a fit for Dylan moving forward.
No,
That's going to open up some cap space.
I think Dylan might actually be.
I hope he stays at Door County. I just hope he stays.
I just hope he sticks around. I just don't think that Dylan is going to. Hopefully, he comes back and he can play a role, but I just don't, like you said, I don't think there's a spot for him anymore.
No, and that's just it's.
It is what it is. I mean,
sucks to be a Green Bay Packer fan.
Be a Packer fan and be in that situation, especially when you're a fan of the player. You know.
And Jordan Love right now, with missing 2 games, he's tied for second in touchdowns with 12.
It's crazy because he's had 8 touchdowns in 2 games.
Yeah. He's tied for 18th with 1,100 yards. But again, this is missing 2 games.
Yeah,
I'm very excited where we are with that. Josh Jacobs right now is 3rd in carries, 5th in total yards. So top 5, 41st in touchdowns, and top 100 in averages. But if you were to go to that carry list, right, and go look at 2 and 3, when you're up there in carries, you're generally not significantly high on the yards list per se, and that's where we're finding out in this situation, and especially with the average. So I think 4.3 yards a carry right now is fantastic, because what's 4 times 4?
16.
Yeah, I'm going well out of the math here, but 4 times 4 is 16, right?
Yeah.
So what's 4 times 3? That's 12. How many yards is it in a first down? 10. So if we're at this point right now where you can just hand the ball off to Jacobs and he's going to get you a first down every 3 carries on average, you're in a really good spot running the ball. And that shows further in his stats when we had brought up earlier with the 22 first downs. Green Bay has 50 total rushing touchdowns right now, which is fantastic, including a Mr. Tucker Kraft, who we saw just a little bit more of some versatility. Of course, this is a copycat league. When you see something that works, you're going to see it overused often. Week 1, we saw Brock Purdy complete a fake to the left, a fake to the right, shoot down the middle, tutty to Kittle. Wow, that fucking rhymed, and I didn't even mean it.
Yeah, nice. I picked that up.
I hope AI picks that up.
Make a rap song out of it.
Holy spit.
I like what I'm seeing out of the selection that he's making, the choices he's making, the way he's throwing the football. It's makes a lot of sense watching the game. There's not a lot of things to nitpick at.
No, I'm very excited about it. The only blemish on our quarterback was due to the weather. The one slip, the first time we see Green Bay slip all game, it slips into an interception.
Yeah, that was
nothing you can do about it. That's why statistically I'm yelling at myself, you can't, but analytically you can't. The fandom inside of me, you go out there and do the same thing, it's going to happen to anybody.
Yeah, probably your old ass, my old ass, freaking break 15 bones.
Emmanuel Wilson, our RB2, 42 carries, 210 yards. He's averaging 5 yards a carry. Jacobs has 3 big runs. We have 7 total as a team. Reed has 2. Malik Willis has the other 2. Excuse me. We don't run Jaden Reed a lot, but it is looking like he's averaging a little over a carry a game. So that's significant.
But he's out there enough between punt returns and he's on the field for most of the offensive plays. You don't want to overutilize him and have him get hurt, especially not on a punt return. God, that would be the worst.
Some big ones in the wide receiver. Right now, Jaden Reed is leading in yards.
27 for
Targets.
442, I believe, something around there. 3 touchdowns.
Yep. Targets right now, he's got 34. Wicks 32. Kraft 26. Dobbs 24.
So he's really spreading the ball around, which is great.
Even the touchdowns right now: 3 to Jaden Reed, 3 to Wicks, 3 to Kraft, 2 to Dobbs, 2 to Christian, 1 to Emmanuel Wilson. We've got 14 total tutties. The long on that is 7. Jaden Reed has 8. Count them, 8 so far. Big plays in the wide receiver category. 216 yards after the catch so far. So that is crazy when you start thinking about it. Quay Walker's leading the team in total tackles with 51. Next closest is McDuffie, 38. And what a story McDuffie was, man. Fought for a roster spot. Nearly came down to the last game. I believe he got an interception in the last preseason game, got an interception, a sack. Really was like, yo, I'm here to play. And
they knew the talent was there. It was just, can he pick up the plays? Can he actually perform every day, week in and week out?
Now, 2 names that if you haven't yet, and if you're looking to buy a defensive jersey or another defensive jersey, I'm telling you, Javon Bullard, one of our new safeties right now, he's got 36 total tackles, 3rd on the team, and then Adrian Cooper, that linebacker, bro. Our defense might be something that we're talking about more next year and the year after than our offense. And I don't mean to say anything at all negative about our offense, because we've already told you on this show we expect 30 to 35 from that offense.
If they can keep the pieces that are honing the rest of it in place, they can do it. Yeah, for sure.
Bro, next year our defense might be a top 3, and the year after it might be the number 1 in the league. It's just, there's 1 or 2 pieces, and Xavier McKinney is allowing us to focus more on the middle of the field because of his ball hawking ability. Has taken that small 1/3 portion out, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I mean,
however, it's allowed to focus us in the middle of the field.
Well, and Jair hasn't been healthy this year either, and he's been limping around with injuries. So they get him back too. That's 1 and 2. You've got 2 number 1s. Yeah.
It was good to see him back. There was a couple plays where the defense realistically, just the scoring drives, the defense ended up putting Jair in a rock and a hard place multiple times.
Yeah, well,
Kyler Murray isn't good enough.
Injury, it's not that. You have to wean him back, and that's how it's going to be for a little while.
Now, the concussion to Marvin Harrison, I do believe, affected the game by a plus-minus of 3.5.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't believe it was a touchdown.
He didn't have weapons. Connor was not doing anything with the defense shutting him down. There was times where he was behind the line and dudes were picking him up and putting him behind the line.
Multiple times where if it wasn't James Conner, many tackles for loss. Something weirdo Dan was talking about on ESPN, a hidden yard.
Dan Orlovsky?
Yeah.
He just every now and then he just says things and you're just like, okay, dude, I got it.
What the fuck? So I do like where that is. Our sack leader currently at 3, Devontae Wyatt. Our defensive tackle. Again, if you're looking to buy a jersey, pick up a Wyatt jersey. You will not be upset.
Yeah.
Tackles for loss, Wyatt at 6.
Mm-hmm.
We have 28 total tackles for loss.
The dude's just been in the backfield a lot this year.
Yeah. We have 119 total sack yards, which is fantastic, dude. I'm just, everything about our defense right now, dude, is great. We got 274 solo tackles, 419 total tackles. We're coming together as a team. We're rushing to the ball. We're not like, oh, the play's over there, let me get to my position for the next play.
Right. You want to talk about the defense? All right, we're 30 minutes in almost. Do you want to start breaking down the game for this next week?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get some key takeaways for the game next week. So we got the Houston Texans coming in, and everybody knows this is going to be a game.
CJ Stroud is going to bring the heat. He's going to bring the wing and the ball down the field. They might be missing Nico Collins still again, I believe.
They are missing Nico Collins.
So the deep threat is gone, but Tank Dell, they've got weapons. Mm-hmm. They have a great tight end. They're going to be able to move the football against Green Bay. This is not going to be a game like it was against the Cardinals. They're not going to be able to shut them down completely. If you're expecting that, I feel bad for you because week to week the NFL changes every week.
Yeah, there's a couple. There's the NFL does change week to week, but some things I'm focusing on specifically would be the Texans Minnesota game and the ability that
Minnesota did to be able to get pressure on Stroud. I believe that's going to be a factor because Minnesota. Yes. If Minnesota can put pressure on the quarterback, Green Bay definitely can.
What I need to see, though, is some more disguises from Jeff. I need him to dig into his book a little bit and start disguising some scenarios because it's going to hurt us in the playoffs.
He did not disguise his blitzes very well. When he was sending a safety off the edge, he was sending them, and it was like...
Yep. Now, our defense's ability to rattle the quarterback allows for that to be great.
Sure.
And our players are covering up some holes. But I'm thinking playoffs.
Yeah, this is basically a preseason playoff game, if you want to call that that.
This could be next year's Super Bowl. This could be this year. This could be next year's Super Bowl.
This year. I don't think Houston might not get there, but Green Bay might have a shot.
Especially with what happened to our prayers up to Aiden Hutchinson, man. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I was watching that live, and I even sent it to the chat before they were talking. I'm like, holy fuck, that dude broke his leg.
Yeah.
What?
Don't watch it if you're out there. It's pretty horrific.
We got the Houston Texans coming up. Some of the big pieces Houston's going to have. You got Tank Dell. You got Stephon Diggs. Let's just pretend Nico Collins is there and healthy. He might be one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the game right now, which is crazy.
You still got old boy at the tight end?
Schultz. They've got Schultz, and then they've got Mixon as their running back. Mixon.
I'm not too worried about them running the ball. They've struggled to run the ball this year against decent defenses.
They have. I think our running will be fine. I think the key to our defense is to not allow C.J. Stroud time to create a window for his wide receivers.
Let's get the numbers here on the defense for the. Let's see what the keys to the game for the defense will be. All right, so defensively, where are they?
I think offensively, our keys to the game. While you're looking those numbers up,
I'm going to get the numbers up
betting
here.
Numbers.
I believe the Packers are home favorites by 2 or 3 points.
Yeah, the Texans are an underdog right now by 3. Yep. Over under on this is 46.5. Oh, with a 3-point fave, so you're looking at 27-24 is what Vegas thinks, more or less. I don't like that at all. I do 24 on the Texans side, to be honest with you. I see our defense giving up a couple touchdowns and some field goals, but I don't see the Texans defense arguably stopping our offense.
They're very comparable. They've given up 13 touchdowns. The Packers have given up 14. A lot of those touchdowns for the Packers came against the Vikings. So
our strength of schedule was much different than the Houston Texans also at the start.
Right. They give up about 300 yards a game.
That's comfortable.
Yeah.
I believe we average...
I believe it's about 350.
We're averaging
400.
280. Jordan Love's averaging 290 yards a game.
Yeah, I believe it's 3 plus 150. 440 or 430 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Yeah, we're averaging just under 300 yards a game passing and just over 125 yards.
Yeah, it's about 4. So you're about 400.
Yeah,
400 yards a game. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, we're over 4. Dallas Cowboys are giving up 450 yards.
Dallas gave up 400 yards in the first half this last week.
Talk about that tomorrow too.
Oh boy,
I like. Okay, so the money line right now, the Packers are favored 155. So you bet 155 to win 100. The Texans are at plus 130. So you bet 100, you win 130.
Yeah, this isn't a pick'em game. This is a straight play if you're going to play.
Yeah, against the spread, the Packers are favored by 3. And the Texans are the underdog at 3. I would stay away from that.
I would stay away from Texans to cover, too, because if this is going to be a game, Green Bay is going to either lose it really close or they're going to win this big.
That's been Green Bay's MO this year.
Yeah.
It really has. It's been Green. We it's not that we're losing the close games. It's that we come back and lose by a little bit. So
I
far
like
this
Green
year.
Bay to. I like Green Bay to cover. I like
do
that
too.
cover, that 2.5, 3.5. I believe they're going to
Easily.
win by.
All
They're going to
day.
win by 6 minimum.
Yeah, the over-under on this is 46.5. Again, we had talked, I believe that's basically a 27-24 split down the middle. I like 24 for Texans, but I like Green Bay.
I like Green
around
Bay over the
35.
30.
Yeah. I think 35 is comfortable. I think we have too many offensive weapons right now. And
I can see a
the
defensive
difference
score
for
as well.
Green Bay's wide receiver room to Buffalo's wide receiver room is that we have wide receivers on both sides of the field getting open. And that's the difference. And our play caller right now is
You
magical.
want a teaser too? Anybody out there want a teaser? I believe this is a game that CJ Stroud quite possibly could throw a pick 6.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I can. CJ Stroud's going to throw an interception this game. We didn't have one last game. I believe. If
Yeah, I know
I could throw a little non-Muggle magic into this world.
there almost was one though. The ball was tipped and he had a chance. But tip balls are not
So
the
I
easiest ones to catch.
I think we got Green Bay winning this one 35-24.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
We're comfortable with 35-24.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
3
35-24
three
sounds
tutties and a
fantastic.
field goal seems about right for the Texans. And I see Green Bay putting up 30.
Few defensive stops.
Takeaways.
I'm comfortable with 2 plus 2 for Green.
I think we'll be on the +2. Shout out Ohio State for just being the best team us Michigan fans could ever imagine. We greatly appreciate you. Patrick, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think we covered it all. We did a good job today.
Next episode, we'll be doing a giveaway at the beginning. I forgot this
Ooh,
week. So
yeah, there we go.
Well, we've exhausted the end of the show as much as we can. Thank you guys. Thank you, everyone out there. Thank you so much for listening. Caledonian Braves, shout out, y'all. Keep doing wonderful things. We appreciate you just as much as we appreciate our audience. The world continues to be a better place with you in it. We love you more.